Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the channel. It is I, your gracious host, Black Raiden, and I'm back with a brand new video. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to my dribble tutorial for beginner dribblers. Yes, this is a dribble tutorial to help people who are new to the game, who are new to dribbling in general in NBA 2K, develop their bag and, help them get open, because everybody needs help. Everybody has to start somewhere, and let this tutorial be where you begin your ISO journey. Now, just because this is a dribble tutorial for beginners doesn't mean that if you're intermediate or an advanced dribbler that you can't take little bits and pieces from this dribble tutorial and add to your bag. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're new, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and turn on those post notifications, man. Now, before we actually get into the dribble tutorial itself, ladies and gentlemen, we need to talk about animations. All right, now I understand that there is a meta this year when it comes to SIGs. Oh, and by the way, if I haven't said this already, this is a dribble tutorial for tall builds, meaning builds that are 6'5" and up. All right, 6'5" and up. If you got at least an 85 ball handle, you need an 85 ball handle and greater, and a 75 speed with ball to get these SIGs. All right, so 85 ball handle and up, and 75 speed with ball and up to get these SIGs. All right, now keep in mind, yes, some of these SIGs are meta SIGs, ladies and gentlemen, but you don't necessarily need to have every single SIG that I have on my list. Now, if you want to dribble like your boy, then sure, put on every single SIG that you see. But the great thing about dribbling this year in NBA 2K26, ladies and gentlemen, is that you have a variety of SIGs that you can put on. However, there are some SIGs that you are going to need. For example, your dribble style. You need Zach LaVine. Okay, Zach LaVine gives you the greatest speed boost when it comes to tall builds, speed boosting left, speed boosting right. All you need is a 75 speed with ball to get this. Now, your signature size up, Tracy McGrady. I use that. Some people use Zach LaVine. I've seen people use Zach LaVine, but Tracy McGrady works very well for me. Breakdown combos, Jordan Poole. Now, Jordan Poole is pretty good, and I like it because he gives you this cross launch here. You see that little animation where you just speed boost forward before he moves backwards? That's the one I really like, because I like the combo out of that, and I'm going to show you actually how to do that later on in the dribble tutorial. But I was using Devin Booker's. Now, a lot of this stuff, ladies and gentlemen, is personal preference, and I've been trying out different SIGs, as you can see, the Zach LaVine and the Penny Hardaway as well. But to me, the Jordan Poole is the best for me and the way that I dribble. Next is Jimmy Butler Escape. Everybody's using the Jimmy Butler Escape, and that's what this is right here. You can spam this left and right. I'm going to show you how to do it, ladies and gentlemen, but I did try out the Devin Booker, which is right here. It's okay, and the the SGA is pretty good too, but it's mostly personal preference. But the meta SIG for your escape moves is the Jimmy Butler. It's the best one, hands down. Next is combo moves. I'm using Pro, but you can really use whatever you want to. Pro has the best, when you're playing threes and you're moving down the court and you're trying to, left, right real quick. That is, Pro to me is the best. Now, you can use SGA, Zach LaVine, or whichever one you want. That's personal preference, but for me, I like Pro. It's over Lonzo Ball, the best one that has been in far as tall guards or medium-sized guards has been Lonzo Ball for the past 3 years. It's just really good, Jaylen Brown is cool. It's a little slow right there that you see, but it's okay. Zach LaVine's I do not like, because you can easily get ripped doing this one, so I don't really care for that. But the Lonzo Ball is extremely good. Next is the behind the back. Now this one is personal preference. All right, for the longest I was using Scottie Pippen, but the difference between Scottie Pippen and Kobe White, and the Kobe White, as you can see, this is the one that I have equipped right now. When you have the Scottie Pippen equipped behind the back, it has a really good moving behind the back, but it doesn't have that of a standstill behind the back or an aggressive behind the back. Okay, the only thing that's good about the Scottie Pippen is the moving behind the back. As you can see, it gives you a really huge launch, but the standing and the aggressive is not that good. Now, the thing is about the Kobe White is the exact opposite. The Kobe White gives you a really good standstill behind the back and aggressive behind the back, but the moving behind the back is not that great. Okay, I'll show you the difference. Well, actually, you can see the difference right here. That's the aggressive behind the back, and that's the moving behind the back. That right there was the standing behind the back. Let's look at the Scottie Pippen. Okay, change the animation. Okay, that's the Scottie Pippen right there. That's the aggressive. That's the standstill, and that's the moving. Spin is total preference. Total preference, whatever you want to use. Some people use basic. I use Penny Hardaway because it's the fastest for me. Some people use Kawhi Leonard. It's really personal preference when it comes to spin. You really can't go wrong. Rotation, once again, another personal preference. I use Chris Paul because it gives you a nice, clean, no-look fake animation. That one right there, I really like that one. That one's pretty cool to me. But for the longest, I was using Kevin Durant. It gives you a really huge separation between you and the defender, which are, you know, the different hesitations that you can use. Kevin Durant is pretty good if you're on a budget. Chris Paul is for a higher ball handle, as you can see. SGA is okay as well, but to me, the Chris Paul is the best one. Step back. Now, this one, I'm using Devin Booker. All right, and I know a lot of people are using the Vince Carter right here. The Vince Carter is very popular, as you can see, but for me, ladies and gentlemen, the step back that I'm using, Devin Booker. Devin Booker has one of the best step backs, and it plays into a lot of my game, as you're going to be able to see very shortly as we get into this dribble tutorial. Thread style, one of the best, Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant. Michael Jordan is a close second or third, but Kobe Bryant, triple threat style is really good. You can do a lot out of it. It helps you get in front of your defender if you need it. If you're not familiar with the whole cheese of the 2K25, Kobe jab step underneath the goal last year, just slap on the Kobe Bryant, man. It's going to help you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's actually get into the dribble tutorial. All right, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, let's get into the escapes, the Jimmy Butler escape. All you're going to do is hold R2 and flick diagonally up to the left because the ball is in our right hand, and then we're going to flick diagonally up to the right. So diagonally up to the left, that's the Jimmy Butler right there. Now I'm going to flick diagonally up to the right. Boom. And you can spam this. So I'm holding R2 and flicking diagonally up to the left, diagonally up to the right, and you can spam this back and forth just like that. Diagonally up to the right, diagonally up to the left, up to the right, up to the left, up to the right, up to the left. And as you can see, you can spam it. Now, dribbling this year is all about rhythm, ladies and gentlemen. So if you want to get if you want to spam the escape really, really fast, all you need to do is just catch a rhythm. So up to the right, up to the left, 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 right, left, right, left, right, left. Y'all get what I'm saying. Let's get into the Devin Booker step back. All right, so all I'm doing is I'm holding R2 or right trigger if you're on Xbox. With my left stick, I am moving forward, and then I am going to flick the right analog stick down, directly down. So holding R2, moving forward with the left stick, and then boom. That's the Devin Booker right there. That's the step back. That's the Devin Booker. Hold on, let me do it again. Boom. 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 And you can spam this. You can spam this, ladies and gentlemen. So holding R2, moving forward, left stick, diagonally down with the right stick. I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna back up just a little bit. Holding R2 with the left stick, I'm moving forward, directly down with the right analog stick. Now, all right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the behind the back. Now, as you can see from my animations that I have the Kobe White behind the back equipped, and it looks something like this. Boom. That's the Kobe White standing behind the back. This is the Kobe White moving behind the back. That's what that looks like. And as you can see, is really not that fast, but the animation that you want is the standing behind the back, which is that right there. And you can kind of spam it. Now, how do you do this move? All you do, no matter which side the ball is in your hand. So since the ball is in my right hand, I am going to flick diagonally left down to the opposite side. So diagonally down to the left hand side, gives me the Kobe White aggressive behind the back. And I'm going to do the opposite since it's on the left hand side. I'm going to flick diagonally down to the right. And you can spam it. Diagonally down to the right, diagonally down to the left, diagonally down to the right, diagonally down to the left, diagonally down to the right, diagonally down to the left. Do the Jimmy Butler escape. I'm spamming the escape into the Kobe White, into the Kobe White, into the Kobe White, into the Kobe White, back into the escape, back into the escape, back into the escape. Now you see, these are just basic dribble moves. These are basic things that can get you, get you open. You feel me? These are your beginner, introductions into ISO. You dig? Now, let's talk about hesitations. I have the Chris Paul hesitation. You feel me? And to pull off the hesitation, all you do is flick your right analog stick while holding R2 to the side of the ball handle that the ball is in. So since the ball is in my right hand, I'm going to flick to the right side, directly right, not diagonally down to the right, not diagonally up to the right, directly to the right hand side. So boom, that's a hesitation. Boom, we'll do it again. That's a hesitation. If I switch ball handle to my left side, boom, hesitation, boom, hesitation. This is what the moving hesitation looks like with the Chris Paul. Boom. That's the animation that I like. It's like he fakes, dribbling the ball, and it throws people off. It actually gets an ankle breaker, as well. So I like to use it a whole lot. Now let's use the hesitation into the Kobe White. So I'm going to hold R2, flick directly, not diagonally, directly to the right, and then diagonally down to the left into the Kobe White. So hesitation into the Kobe White. I'm gonna do it again on the opposite side. Holding R2, I'm gonna flick to the left, directly to the left, and then diagonally down to the right. So left, diagonally down to the right. Hesitation, Kobe White. Hesitation, Kobe White. Hesitation, Kobe White. The Jordan Poole. The Jordan Poole is pretty simple as well. All you do is hold R2 and flick directly up on the right analog stick. So directly up, you're gonna get that animation. As you can see, it launches you forward. I'm gonna do it again. Hold R2 and I'm gonna flick directly up. I'm not doing anything else. I'm just letting that animation play out, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not doing anything else. I'm just holding R2 and flicking directly up. You get that animation, and you can do a lot of these in a row if you really just want to. Now, I wouldn't recommend just spamming this, because it looks weird. You just doing the same thing over and over again, but you can cancel out of these moves. So I'm going to go into the Jordan Poole into the Kobe White. So directly up, hesitation, boom, Kobe White. Jordan Poole, hesitation, Jimmy Butler, that was Devin Booker into the Kobe White. Ladies and gentlemen, now I'm about to show you the Devin Booker walk back. All right, it's very simple and it's really easy to do. All you need to do is hold R2 while you're running to the side and flick down on the right analog stick. So I'm about to do it, and it looks like that. You're gonna get that animation. I'm gonna do it again, and it looks like that. And you can spam it. Gentlemen, I want to give y'all one little intermediate dribble move, and that's the nutmeg. All right, now this is going to take a little bit of practice and a little bit of timing, okay, because it requires you to know which side the ball is on. So since the ball is in my right hand, ladies and gentlemen, as I'm going to be running up the court, I am going to flick diagonally down to the left and then directly to the left, but I got to do it really quickly so it looks something like that. I hope y'all saw it. Let me do it again. Since the ball is in my my left hand, I'm going to do directly down to the right and directly to the right. Boom, it looks something like that. This is gonna take practice, ladies and gentlemen. It takes rhythm. So once again, while I'm running up the court holding R2, I'm gonna flick diagonally down to the left and then directly to the left. So boom. So ladies and gentlemen, this was the beginner's dribble tutorial. Let me know down in the comments if you want a more advanced dribble tutorial. If you want to know how to do spin backs and different things like that, I can teach y'all how to do that. I apologize if I didn't explain something well enough. I haven't done a dribble tutorial since like 2K21. You feel me? So I'm trying to get back into this. But I'm going to leave this video off with clips of me actually doing combinations in game in real time, ladies and gentlemen, so you can see what they look like. Everything that I went over in this dribble tutorial, you're going to see in these clips. So it's going to be like a mini mixtape, ladies and gentlemen. So once again, man, if you're new, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and turn on those post notifications, man. And listen, y'all be cool, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.